Hello and welcome back to Race Recap. My name is Jackson. This past weekend we had the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series racing on the Monster Mile of Dover Speedway. And now it's the Monster Mile because there's a little monster outside the stadium called Miles the Monster, and his favorite thing to do is eat cars on the steep banking. And it is a very steep banking at Dover. Most likely, if you're going to hit the outside wall, you're going to slide down the inside and probably make some contact with the inside wall. That's just how steep it is at Dover. Now, the Xfinity Series, this was their final Dash for Cash race of the 2022 season. They ran 200 laps at Dover. First caution was brought out when the 08 Ford, that's David Starr, tried to clear himself in front of the 34, driven by Kyle Weatherman this weekend. They made contact after Starr was not clear, and they both went up into the outside wall, and the 51 of Jeremy Clements got collected back behind this and made some contact with the outside wall. The second caution was the Stage 1 winner of Sam Mayer in the 1. The third caution was on the 91, and Mason Massey got up and hit driver's side into the turn 3 and 4 wall hard. And that took him into Stage 2, which went to the 7 of Justin Allgaier, who's always good. JR Motorsports is very good here at Dover. And then the fourth caution was for the 99 of Stephen Parsons, who went spinning. A little quick note here, Parsons is no longer running full-time in the 99 for BJ McLeod Racing. He'll be going part-time with them at Alpha Prime Racing in the 45 and 44 car. And then the fifth and final caution was when the 4 of Bailey Curry blew an engine. And the checker flags went to the 8 of Josh Berry, just barely able to hold off his teammate, the 7 of Justin Allgaier. But the Dash for Cash did go to a junior motorsports driver, but it was the 9 of Noah Gregson because he was one of the 4 eligible drivers after finishing top 4 in last weekend's Talladega race. Now, the top 10 here were just Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier, Ty Gibbs, Noah Gregson, Sam Mayer, AJ Allmendinger, Brandon Jones, Sheldon Creed, Riley Herbst, and Ryan Sieg were out top 10. DNF's this race, Bailey Curry had the engine problems. John Hunter Nemechek, who was in the 18 car, had a tire go down, which resulted in brake problems. And then in a similar situation, Raja Cruz, who was in the 44, also had a tire go down, and that resulted in suspension problems. Now, the next day, the Cup Series ran 400 laps at Dover. The first caution was a competition caution. The second caution, as you see, it was a red flag for rain in the area, and it actually postponed the race until Monday at noon, so we had to go into the weekday. And you really could see there's no lights at Dover, and the rain was continuing to come for a few more hours. So NASCAR made the call, and it was postponed until Monday. And when they got back going, I think it was around lap 80, the third caution was brought out for the 2 of Austin Cindric, who got up into the outside wall hard, and the 38 of Todd Gillen got collected back behind him after being hit in the back by the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Gillen went hard and made driver's side contact with the outside wall. Then the fourth caution was the Stage 2 winner of Denny Hamlin. The fifth caution was when the 5 of Kyle Larson spun down the front straightaway and did an incredible job of keeping it out of the inside wall. Almost looked like Jimmy Johnson's qualifying spin here a couple years ago when he spun out and was able to keep it out of the inside wall, which I mentioned is very impressive to do at Dover. And then the sixth caution was like another similar incident, but this time on the back straightaway. This time not so lucky, though, for the 45 of Kurt Busch. He made some slight contact with the outside wall, but then slid down and hit hard into the inside wall, and that did end his day. And then the seventh caution was when the 22 of Joey Logano on that restart got up into the outside wall a little bit. The eighth caution was when the 51 of Cody Ware spun up the track on the front straightaway and then came back down the track. And the 11 of Denny Hamlin had an up-down day, won the stage, but then had issues that got penalties and on pit road got mired back in the pack, came back up to 4th now, but then when the 51 of Cody Ware spun, he came right back down into the side of Denny Hamlin and kind of just peeled his right rear open and sent him sliding down into turn number 1. So that did really end Denny Hamlin's chance for a win. And then the ninth caution was the Stage 2 winner of Ryan Blaney. The 10th caution was when the 16 of AJ Allmendinger had a tire come off after did actually bring out a caution. It was during the green flag pit stops, and that's going to result in a major suspension for crew chiefs and a couple crew members. And then the 11th caution was brought out when the 99 of Daniel Suarez slid up into the side of the 7 of Corey LaJoie. LaJoie got up into the outside wall, and Suarez went spinning. Then the 12th caution was brought out when the 8 car, actually, of Tyler Reddick, that is, he spun down the back stretch and nosed it hard into the inside wall. And then I'm not sure if this was really a caution. It happened just as the leader was checking the checkered flag, but I'm going to count it as a caution. It was the 13th caution when the one of Ross Chastain, who had been battling it out all day long with the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. They just kept finding each other, were battling out inside the top 5. Martin Truex Jr. tried to go high above Chastain. Chastain made a late block, and then Truex lost control and spun down into the inside wall, nosing it, but he was able to get back going, but finished outside the top 10. And the checker flags went to the 9 of Chase Elliott. First time he's won on an oval since Phoenix in 2020 when he won the championship. Top 10 here were Chase Elliott, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., great job by him, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, who actually set on pole for this race in the 17 car, Kevin Harvick, and Eric Jones rounded out top 10. DNF's this race, AJ Allmendinger resulted from that accident, had brake problems. Cody Ware was out for the damaged vehicle policy. BJ McLeod also had brake issues, and Austin Cindric was out with the damaged vehicle policy. Well, that's all for race recap. Come join us next weekend when it's going to be a fun one. All 3 series are turning back the clocks and going throwback weekend at Darlington.